Order the court! We're here to discuss the crimes from humanity against the old environment and the world.
Thank you, Your Honor. We stand here because the very survival of our planet is at risk. In 2015, 195 countries signed the Paris Agreement, promising to limit global warming below 2 degrees Celsius. Yet, emissions continue to rise. Today, we will hear from these nations. They made promises, but have they kept them?
Proceed with your witnesses.
The United States. You once pledged to fight climate change, but under different administrations, your commitment wavered. Can you explain?
Hey, we left the agreement, but we also rejoined later. We are still investing on clean energy, and fossil fuels still play a big role in our economy.
So, you're saying you made a commitment, but continued contributing to the problem?
Objection! The USA has made progress. They create new laws based on renewable energy.
Overruled. We need facts, not excuses.
China, you're the largest CO2 emitter. How do you justify your actions?
We have made significant investments on solar and wind energy, but yes, we are still reliant on coal for now.
Yet, your emissions continue to rise. Can the planet really afford to wait for the transition?
My client is leading the world in green energy production. The progress takes time.
Great point, but we're running out of time.
Brazil. The Amazon is the lungs of the planet, but deforestation some way is still increasing. Why?
We need economic growth, and besides, we protect some land.
Yet, illegal logging still continues. You're allowing one of Earth's biggest carbon sinks to be destroyed.
Brazil has also created new conservation laws. You can expect change overnight.
Mexico. You committed to reduce 22% of emissions by 2030, yet emissions have increased. Why?
We have expanded solar and wind energy projects, but still we rely on fossil fuels for 70% of electricity.
And what about Pemex? Your state-owned oil company plans to increase oil productions despite of climate promises.
Economic stability is also a priority, but we have been investing in wind farms like Oaxaca's La Ventana, but we are also building Latin America's biggest solar plant in Sonora.
Mexico has pledged net zero emissions by 2050 and banned fracking.
Your Honor, the evidence is clear. World leaders are not doing enough. The Paris Agreement is a promise, but words are meaningless without actions. The world is burning, dying, drowning. How much longer must we wait?
We acknowledge the challenges, but the nations are making the progress. The renewable energy is growing and the policies are improving. We cannot undo decades of damage overnight.
Enough. My verdict is that the Paris treatment is not a suggestion, it's a commitment that everyone must follow for save not just human lives. It's for protect all the life on Earth, and if we fail, the punishment will be merciless. A planet that cannot sustain life.
Talking about finances, the nations as organized powers must define and assign amounts of money to complete state projects. As the Treaty of Paris established, it is necessary for all the members to spend and cooperate with other developing countries in an effective effort to save the world from human abuses. Usually, the percentage is around 3% or less, while countries from the European Union promise less than 20% of their total economy or gross internal product, with the promedium of 13% of the budget of those countries. USA, on his Mayo report, directed 369,000 trillions of dollars. China, on his Mayo report on 2024, directed 940 millions of dollars, 6.8 trillions of yuans, and Mexico spent 2.1% of the budget, approximately 9,684.73 millions of Mexican pesos. In terms of periodical revisions for these programs and the use of budget, A big amount of money means a lot of regulation of the system, so the governments and nations need to be aware of how public money is spent on any kind of program. So usually governments administer the public programs plus the inversions on it for determining actual effectiveness measures about the money that is spent and in the impact that covers. So in case that amount of money spent does not make a big impact and neither brings monetary benefits, it usually ends on the closure or cancellation of the projects. Sadly, this happens in the majority of the projects. So it's important to have a close look up on the use of money, so it's not that easy to care about.
The Paris Agreement has achieved some important successes, but it also faced significant challenges. One of its biggest achievements is that the predicted temperature increase has been reduced from 7 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius. Additionally, countries like Japan, China, and the European Union have committed to carbon neutrality and net zero targets. The United States has also worked alongside other signatory nations. And the European Council has played a key role in ensuring that all European Union member states take action against climate change. However, the agreement has a major weakness. It cannot force countries to reduce their emissions. This is a significant issue, especially because the biggest polluters, such as the US and China, are less affected by international pressure. As a result, despite the agreement's efforts, the world is still not on track to keep the temperature rise to below 2 degrees Celsius goal. More concrete actions and stronger commitments are necessary to effectively combat climate change. The Paris Agreement recognizes that climate change adaptations are essential and encourages all participating countries to create and implement national adaptation plans. These plans include assessing vulnerabilities, monitoring climate risk, and developing policies to strengthen resilience. Countries are also required to submit adaptation communications which outline the priorities, actions, and support needs. These reports help improve transparency and track global process. Adaptation is a global change that requires cooperation at local, national, and international levels. The agreement emphasizes the importance of supporting developing countries, which are particularly vulnerable to climate change. To enhance adaptation efforts, countries are encouraged to share information, best practice, and experience. This collaborative approach aims to make adaptation strategies more effective and ensure a sustainable future for all.
The matches between the Air Charter and the Paris Agreement. It includes several calls of sustainability. Both documents emphasize the importance of achieving a sustainable future for all. The Air Charter focuses on building a just, sustainable, and peaceful global society, while the Paris Agreement aims to address climate change within the context of sustainable development. The next one is environmental protection. Both documents recognize the importance of protecting the environment. The Air Charter has a strong focus on ecological integrity and respecting nature, while the Paris Agreement aims to limit global warming and mitigate the impacts of climate change. Another one is global cooperation. Both documents highlight the need for global cooperation to achieve their goals. The Air Charter calls for a sense of global interdependence and shared responsibility, while the Paris Agreement is a multilateral agreement that brings all nations together to combat climate change. And the last one is interconnectedness of issues. Both documents acknowledge that environmental, social, and economic issues are interconnected. The Air Charter emphasizes the interdependence of environmental protection, human rights, and economic justice, while the Paris Agreement recognizes the intrinsic relationship between climate change actions and sustainable development.
Countries like Afghanistan, Australia, Argentina, Cambodia, El Congo, El Salvador, Germany, France, Honduras, Indonesia, Israel, Morocco, Montenegro, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Pakistan, the Philippines, Poland, Portugal, and many others signed the Paris Agreement in 2016. Of course, included the ones mentioned in this video, like USA, China, Mexico, and Brazil.